Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron for Kaiserreich with me, Alpha by Omega, and Austrian Empire. So in the previous episode we have done a lot. We've improved our economy by miles. Our production is now giving us all that our hearts desire. We have 2 full construction lines going, with a third one at 4 factories, and even our stockpile of current equipment is looking pretty darn good. We have been lowering the resistance, increasing the compliance. Things are generally looking good for us, but it is quite important to say that we have ways to go still. When you compare us to Germany, and I know that's not a fair comparison, but still, Germany has 112 civilian factories and 91 military factories, while we are sitting at 64 and 47 respectively. They got roughly 1.6 thousand airplanes, while we got 290. We have 16 divisions in active service. They got roughly 110, maybe even more, depending on how accurate our sources are. So we're not, we're doing great, we're improving quickly, but we are not there yet. Which brings me to the points that I want to make before we unpause the game today. So, first of all, I was revisiting my plans to improve some of our divisions, and I found out that I was kind of ignoring the fact that the recon tanks would greatly slow the max speed of our, Kraftfahrjäger divisions. Yeah. So instead we need to put a motorized recon there, and as we do have enough trucks for that, I'm gonna do it right now, and I'm also gonna give them the engineering company while we're at that, and an extra motorized artillery battalion, which is gonna make them complete. Their soft attack is gonna be 154, breakthrough 115, defense 273, and they got 1.5 points in reconnaissance. Combat with 25. So let's save that. That's gonna affect all of the units that we have in training, but I don't really mind. These ones trained are all gonna go into our current 3rd motorisierte army, or it would be the dritte motorisierte army. As far as the other divisions go, we have the cavalry division. We're gonna work on that one slightly later. I'm still thinking that we are going to add one more light tank division here to make these have a bit more punch. Then we're going to get the engineering and maintenance companies, and we're going to be done with this one for now. But we're going to have to see. We don't have enough tanks in reserve for anything like that, even if we still have only 2 of these fielded at this point. And I already have 144 tanks, so they will grow massively, after which we will need even more tanks. But our production, remember, is just skyrocketing. We are going to get to roughly 3.5 tanks, maybe even 4 tanks per day, which is great. That is great, I'm all for that, but again, we're not there yet. Second point that I wanted to speak about is the Navy. I was thinking about what to do with the Navy, and we have a ton of ships here that we could work with. However, I don't see any good opportunities for upgrades, with the exception of destroyer of the first type. There's so many different designs that we have there, but most of those could get a decent upgrade in the way of getting extra torpedo launchers and extra anti-air. Some of them even with an improved light engine, but I don't think that's gonna be a good thing to do right now. We're just gonna improve these as we can even improve the light batteries. So we're gonna do that after we get our submarines built, and we are also going to design a new cruiser, because while our fleet composition is really good, we really don't have any cruisers. We got a couple of escort cruisers, a whole lot of destroyers, but we don't have any middle ships, something in the middle. So while our heavy battleships are pretty good, the Hunyadi class, it's not top of the line. There are things that we could improve, especially by giving them extra secondary batteries, maybe even improving. No, we can't improve the anti-air. So we could, switch the secondary batteries by 1,150, but you see that barely does any difference to the weight attack. So I don't think that is a worthwhile thing to do here. But the battleships are fine, they're not top of the line, but they are fine. But we can, by the way, the point why I was showing them actually is the reason that, or the point I was trying to make is look at these numbers. They have 400 HP, heavy attack of roughly 30, heavy piercing of roughly 36, light attack is meh. They cost about 11,500. But if we design a completely new ship, and I mean a completely new ship, as a cruiser, we have the improved cruiser hull here. You can get a much cheaper ship with, less... Let me finish that. With less HP, but also much cheaper. Yeah, something like this. So this ship would cost about half of the battleship, slightly over the half. Heavy attack is nearly 30, piercing is 25, light attack and light piercing is higher than we saw on the battleship, and it has nearly 300 HP for half of the price of the battleship. So this is actually a really good thing that we could design. However, it would cost us 45 Navy experience, and I don't want to do that because right now we are very close to getting our first Naval Doctrine. So, and plus we're building the submarines, but eventually we are going to design something like that. I might even delve a bit deeper into the naval tree. There is a bunch of things that we can we need to get some of these techs, but still I think that it might be a good idea to maybe get an advanced cruiser hull before we go that way, so that we can build even better cruisers and get them some extra armor, to make them a bit more advantageous. Well, we'll just have to see. Oh, hey, there's a snorkel here. That would be a good thing for our subs. But yeah, we're really pressed on what to research at this point, so I'm not gonna delve too deep into that right now. Anyway, let us continue with the game. I have spent a lot of time talking, and I think it's better if we just go ahead and play at least a bit. So we are short 250 artillery pieces, which is going to take roughly, over a month to fill. And we are short on 113 support equipment, which will take about 20 days to get. So that is good. All of this is going for the motorisierte army, which I support. Armenia declared war on the Ottoman Empire. What do we have here? Serving under Ottoman military occupation for close to 2 decades, the Armenian resistance has used the war between Constantinople and Tehran to reassert Armenian independence, driving out the Ottoman garrison and raising their flag in rebellion. Although many question the viability of the revolt, stuck in between a rock and a hard place, their courage and determination has not gone unnoticed abroad, with many nations in the socialist bloc immediately recognizing their independence. Well, that might be great, but how good... You have no divisions. Peace deal has been signed between Mexico and Australasia, and Paratia Commune, and Australasia and the Combined Syndicalists of America. Okay, what happened in Australasia? Australasian Union. Syndicalists take over Australasia. The recent election in the Australasian Confederation saw victory for the Labour Party led by John Curtin, but within days after his victory, radical elements within the Labour Party rose up and took control. These radicals are loyal to the Australasian Council of Trade Unions, the ACTU being the most prominent syndicalist faction in the Antipodes, in hiding since the Melbourne Commune uprising of 1924 and the subsequent suppression of the unions by Governor-General William Birdwood's government. The coup has left the nation in shock, with syndicalist loyalists already taking to the streets across Australasia to prevent demonstrations and outbreaks of violence. Great. Just great. Okay, Naval Doctrine. So, I'm going to go with Freedom Being because that focuses the most on direct fighting. And considering we're stuck in the Mediterranean, I don't think we're going to be seeing large-scale submarine action. So, fleet and main. Ships stay in port where they are safer and only engage enemies at opportune moments. The presence of our ships will make enemies more reluctant to take our ports. So, naval maneuvering efficiency plus 10%, organization for battleships, battlecruisers, and cruisers plus 10, and light cruisers? No, escort cruisers and destroyers have a surface detection increased by 10%. So, let's get that. And we can now work on improving the light and old destroyers. So what do we have here as far as destroyers go? Well, we have a ton of these. Hussar, Turu, and Tatra. Is there a difference between them? Okay, so Hussar has a lot of mine-laying equipment. And Turu has torpedoes. Okay, so Turu and Tatra can be upgraded to one mutual design, while Hussar actually needs to be upgraded as well. How many of these we do have? That is a big question. So let's do it this way. Hussars and Tatars, we got quite a lot of these. I see some Turus. So the Turus should actually be switched out and creating their own mine-laying fleet. That would make a bunch more sense to me. Okay, where's the sub? Here is the sub. So we can go drill. Costi U120. You guys are thusly all improved, which is amazing. So yeah, we're gonna let the main fleet repair, and after they're done, I'm gonna split the two classes off and we're gonna create a mine-laying fleet, because that one we will need. Okay, you guys are fully stocked, that's amazing. You guys are still missing the artillery. Gotcha. And so should our existing divisions, yep. But they can now be drilled, even if they don't have exactly all of the equipment. They have the extra personnel. Okay, cool. And I have to ask, if we wanted to train you guys, 12 divisions of you for another entire army, how would that go? How much equipment would we need? Oh, okay, so we need to end the training first, and we would be missing infantry, no, support equipment and artillery. Gotcha. So that's the pain point, and that's where our factories need to go next. Now we have been boosting the support equipment quite a lot. So let's throw in another factory. And the artillery is going to be good, but we are soon going to have a new Feldkannon, which is going to be good. I mean, that is a big upgrade, but that's going to tank our efficiency even further. I think we might actually, it would be wise to actually wait until we are full, and that's actually going to be perfect. In 19 days we are going to have the artillery done, and in 19 days we're going to get a new Feldkannon. So this is almost too good to be true. Almost too good to be true. Okay, our first Kraftfahrjäger division has been trained. So we can go and join the third motorisierte army, or dritte motorisierte army. You guys are still missing stuff. Artillery. Haha, okay, well that's the issue, but we get another one here, so we can join. And you guys don't really have an area defense, do you? So let's put you there. Construction 3 has been finished. Adoption of modern vehicles and experience from our advancements in construction can be applied to make repairs vastly quicker. So construction speed and factory repair speed increased by 10%, and we're gonna go with excavation free. Because resource gain efficiency, believe it or not, is super important. Okay, here's the 5th Kraftfahrzeuge division. We're ready to join the other 4. You guys are really beautiful, extremely fast, and that is what we want the most from you. So here's the 6th, 2 more coming, 2 more coming, and we're gonna be done. Amazing. Amazing. So the machine and pistola is also gonna come. That's gonna tank our infantry equipment production, but we got near 30,000 in the stock, so that is pretty good. But seriously, if we wanted to train you guys, 12 divisions of you, we would need what? About 900 artillery bases? No. Near 1,000? 840? Yeah, almost exactly 1,000. And trucks were gonna be fine, and 480 support equipment. So the support equipment we are getting at a decent rate, 6.7 per day, so that would be roughly 3 months. That's fine, that can be done. The infantry equipment we would be good with. The total artillery is going to be a bit of an issue if we're going to switch it to the better artillery, because we don't have enough. How's the compliance, really? How is the compliance? Okay, we are starting to see some pretty good numbers. Albania is at 35%, but that's really not the one that we're most interested in. Nice, Croatia is at 0 resistance. And at 65% of factories. Same with Czechia, Croatia 62, Greece. Greece is being a pain, but even there we can see an increase. Hungary is at 71%, amazing. Romania at 38, Serbia 35, Bosnia 64. Okay, well, we're going to eventually have to take... We are eventually going to have to take the other claims so that we can suppress the resistance better and work on these boosts to infrastructure and everything. But I'm more interested in EU and U, and the Prague Ironworks will give us 16 steel. That's also great, and getting extra infrastructure is also good. Yeah, a bunch of factories sitting there for us. Can't say I'm mad about that. Okay, white things are being produced in really nice amounts. We're phasing out the older ones, which is really awesome. Yeah, I think after we finish the first infantry army and the first motorized army, we're gonna just create another infantry army, which is going to be used as a defensive one again, because we got large borders with people, and I don't think that just 12 divisions would be enough to cover that. Just with Germany we would need like 40 divisions alone for the border if we wanted to have at least one in each area. Then we are doing bad as far as manpower goes. But garrison is down to 100,000. It's just great. Total manpower is 1.73 million. Well, we're not even close to that numbers. Almost 280. Military police would help us with the situation in garrisons. Okay, here comes the new Feldkanone. And yes, we are going to equip everyone with artillery now, so I can start to produce those. This is a bit ahead of time, but that is good. The flag would give us, yeah, another anti-air, which I'm not entirely sold on. I think we're gonna save this bonus for the light tank, because I would like to see that. The medium one would be good, but we barely have enough of the white ones. Logistics companies would be good. I'm waiting for like a crazy person. This is all ahead of time. So would you be, but there is a ton of really good boosts to the existing ships. So we might want to visit that sometime soon. That would be pretty good. And here we have the rocket artillery. Not that happy about that. I think in industry, not really. That's production efficiency. We really have no close support, so close support would be really good for our armies. But I'd like to keep focusing on what we have right now. So this is ahead of time. Yeah, we need you, because we will need to get to these high velocity cannons eventually for the tanks, for the medium tanks anyway. So let's work on that and switch the towed artillery to improved artillery 2 and look at how we fell. Yeah, from 7 per day to roughly 2 per day. But, you know, the production efficiency is increasing like crazy, so that's gonna be fine. And it is a big boost to our production. Well, not production, but to our effective impact using artillery. So we should be happy about that. Did we gain more factories? I think we did, yeah. We got another factory available. And here we go with the fall of Barcelona, which I think is the good end of the episode. Yep, the Kingdom of Spain is winning this civil war. Reports from Barcelona confirm that the Red Spanish city has been captured by advancing Spanish troops after pitched fights across the Serra de Colsaroya mountain range. Red Spanish forces put up stiff resistance, hoping to delay the Spanish forces for as long as possible, but were eventually beaten back. There were reports of long urban fights through the Gothic quarter of Barcelona and sparse fighting along the Barcelonian Riviera. Okay, whatever that is. The same Riviera was the site of a long and luxurious parade by Spanish troops as they marched along the sunny beaches, a clear symbol that the Kingdom of Spain has taken control of the Catalonian city. This is really good because I'm kind of okay with the patronal autocrats winning this civil war, especially if it means that the syndicalists are gonna go bye-bye. So, we're gonna end the episode here. We have boosted our army quite significantly. We are now at 235,000 men in the field out of 116 that we had at the start of the episode. And these divisions are pretty deadly when you look at them closely. They have really good soft attack, really good breakthrough, and they're very fast, which is something that we are going to take advantage of. So we need to keep chugging along, throwing more units out there and focusing on the more, I'd say, technologically advanced ones, because even though I mentioned that I want another infantry army, the main point that I made a couple of episodes ago is that we are heavily going to focus on tanks and on mechanized and motorized divisions, because we don't really have that much manpower to speak of, so we have to be wise to use it in a way that is gonna multiply its effect and not just throw it away. And unfortunately, I feel like we threw away quite a lot during the civil war in the Austrian Empire, if you want to call it that way. but there really wasn't any other way how we could have addressed that. And thank God that we won with only the casualties that we had, which I believe was something like 45,000 men in the end, which I will gladly take for the entirety of the current Austrian Empire.